Hi there, I'm Jen Ferguson with Artistic Painting Studio, and today's video is going to show you how to take some of your old wine bottles and dress them up with foils. So this is going to be a fun project. Come join me. Okay guys, we have a wine bottle that it did take me a few minutes, more than what I thought, to get all of labels off. And I think I finally went for acetone and got it cleaned off, but it did take me a little bit of work. Okay, once you have the surface cleaned off, the last thing that I'm going to do is I want to grab the isopropyl 91% or higher alcohol and just clean the surface off. And once that's done, I'm going to try to keep my hands actually off of the surface. The minute you touch the bottle again, there's a good chance that you can transfer some of the oils back from your hand and create a resist. So wipe it down good with the alcohol and let that completely evaporate. Okay, once that's done, I grabbed what it's called a tumbler stand. Okay, these normally have like a foam insert over the top of them, and they fit inside the tumblers. Well, I'm hoping that this will fit on the wine bottle, but I got a feeling it's going to be super, super tight. But it's going in there enough that that's going to give me something to hold on to and allow me to be able to work on to this bottle and have a place to put it, okay? I'm just gonna make sure I put it someplace really, really safe because it's super tall now, okay? So I'm gonna put that aside for a second. And now that everything is cleaned and dried, I'm going to grab our foil adhesive. This is our brand. It's under our name, Artsyville Embellishments. I'm going to take some of this out and put it onto what I call a sticky plate. And that way, if I am working on a project for a while, I don't have to have the lid off of the container. If I need it to add some water to the adhesive, I can add it to the plate because you don't want to put it into the container itself and contaminate everything. Okay, so I'm guessing I got enough product here. We will find out soon. Okay, the bottom is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It has a little bit of a texture to it, but we're going to go ahead and go for it, okay? And just see how that turns out. We're going to put 100% coverage on this bottle, going all the way up to the area where the company name is still on here, okay? And try to get a nice full strokes if we can, okay? Little more tedious getting up to that top area, but I figure that's a great place to stop with the foils. You could, if you wanted to, tape off an area if you don't want to go all the way up to the screw top or whatever the top of the bottle is that you're working on. Okay, there's not much to hold on to here. Okay, so I'm trying to spin the bottle so that I can get to the other side. Foil adhesive is not self-leveling, so when you're putting this on, you want to come back and try to smooth out your brush strokes the best you can and leave as little application marks behind so that when your foils are transferred, you're not going to see a whole lot of brush stroking and any kind of a mess underneath the foils, okay? Because it's not self-leveling, that's why I always try to make sure I work at getting my brush strokes as neat as possible. Now, foil adhesive will start to dry down in about probably 30 minutes. It's going to go from looking milky white to completely clear and shiny. And then you want to make sure to leave this even longer. We're working on glass, so I suggest that you actually let it dry overnight, giving the foil adhesive time to dry to a nice firm hardtack and bond to the surface. So we're going to leave this for 24 hours and we'll be back for our next steps. So we are ready to continue on our fun wine bottle project here. And I have picked one of my favorites. This foil is called Leopard Junkie. So I'm going to flip it over so that we have our transfer side facing up. And I'm just going to use a couple of my items I have laying out here to make sure it doesn't curl up on me before I'm ready. So I still have the bottle on the holder. I'm going to try get that out and place this on the foil. And I think we're just going to end up just wrapping it up. So I'm going to roll back towards me. I'm going to grab a hold of the foil there. Make sure I let everything off. And just let it roll up, okay? And there's pretty much no other way to do this than to just crinkle it around the top section. And I think we're just going to let it wrap to the bottom, okay? So kind of like a present. And we're going to get out our scrub brush and we're going to scrub the foil onto the surface and see how this comes out. Now, I think this will be really fun for a great display. You could even do this to your wine bottles that you're going to give away and just remove their labels first and even give it away as a gift. I think that would be so fun. Now this I plan to do as a display because we really wanted to make a fun foil display here at the studio. So I will also put in the link for the wine rack holder that inspired part of this project, okay? And again, it was inspired by one of my retailers that was doing this in her store, and I thought, what a great idea. So when we say you can foil anything, you really can. Okay, I'm trying to get down into that because the bottoms of the wine bottles are concaved. Okay, let's take a check. Start to do a little peel and reveal here and see how things have come out. Oh my gosh. This foil transfers really super well. Okay, there's also a little bit of a ridge around the bottom of the bottle. So I just made sure I scrubbed again there. And because we've got the angle, I'm scrubbing on that part as well. And if you feel like anything didn't attach, just once you've pulled it back a little bit, lay it back down, get it right back into place. You can even use our burnishing pad for the second scrubbing here. And just make sure if there's any little bits and pieces of foil that didn't transfer the first time, you normally can get them with that second scrubbing, okay? So only pull back a few inches at a time. Let that foil fall right back into place. Work those curved edges because they're probably going to need a little extra scrubbing. And then keep pulling back. Okay. So there's just little tiny bits and pieces that seem like they did not transfer the first time. So you can always pull it back. Okay, so we're almost at the end. So I'm going to pull the other direction this time. Just make sure that I don't pull the carrier sheet all the way off before I'm done with my second scrubbing. You also want to be careful where your line is here. Okay, I'm still on the carrier of my finger, and on this other side there's no carrier sheet. So you want to make sure that you don't get on the other side because you can scratch the foils. So be careful when you get to that last section, okay? I still love the peel and reveal after all of these years. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun. You know, like I said, a fun gift for a friend. Just remove the labels. Don't even open the wine, okay? Might be a little tricky as far as the drying on the states, but you might be able to just get the bottle to stand up by itself. Just put it someplace really careful for all those layers to dry. And the next thing I'm going to do is just seal this, okay? I like to use our final coat. Final coat comes in a couple different sheens. I'm going to go for the semi-gloss. And I'm just going to pour a little bit out onto my plate. This product goes a long ways, so a little bit really does cover a lot. It is designed to go on super thin and build layers for durability. So depending on what you're working on and you know how much it's going to be handled and touched will determine how many layers you might want to put on. For this bottle, because it's mainly going to be a display item, I'll probably put 2, maybe 3 coats on it. If I was giving the bottle away as a gift and had full bottle of wine in here, I would probably put at least 3 or 4 coats on it. So that way when she's done, or whomever is done with the wine, they can still enjoy a super fun bottle that they can use for a display, or you could probably even put soap and different things in here and use it for something. So I think this will be fun to do, not just for this one, but for a few other wine bottles. But I love this foil, you guys. Again, it is a leopard junkie, and it is absolutely to die for. Okay, so I'm going to stand this back up. We're going to let that dry. I'll throw on another coat, and this project is done. Thank you guys for hanging out with me.